static analysis is another key feature of SQL Tran. While parsing allows us to understand the meaning behind the SQL code, so which statements are in the SQL script and what are the parts of potentially extremely complex individual statements, static analysis gives us a next level of understanding. So static analysis allows us to track all the references. So for any name that's mentioned in the code, we'll know exactly what it represents. Is it a table? Is it a view? Is it a table column? Is it a parameter? And it also allows us to know what's broken. So we will know if there is some code that actually does not work, and you may not even be aware of it. On top of that, you also get the full data lineage, which is super useful, especially with complex code bases. So I have already prepared one project. It's AdventureWorks database being migrated to Fabric Warehouse. If you go to Workspace, and I select one of the tables, let's say this one is interesting. I'm gonna click Analysis, and here we have a full data lineage. So we see that the table Human Resources Employee is being referenced by 10 or so objects, and 3 of those are actually writing into it using an update statement. So if I go into the employee view, yes, Human Resources Employee is here, and it's going to say what are all the objects that this view depends on. If I go back and visit the USP update employee hire info, yes, we are updating Human Resources Employee. And now that I have hovered over the name Human Resource Employee, we can see, yeah, this is a reference to Human Resources Employee table. It will even list all the table columns right in that pop-up. Now, if I hover over at the job title, it's going to say, okay, this is reference to job title parameter of this procedure. Now, if I go to, say, some view, again, I'm going to see the data lineage. I'm going to see what it depends on. But also, if I hover over a table name, I'm going to see the table name. But if I hover over alias, I'm going to see this declaration of table alias, which points to this table source here, which then in turn points to a table. It's not only about the providing information. We are using this to quickly navigate over our code. And while this view is fairly straightforward, there are views that are enormous, right? So you want to be able to quickly find things in other parts of the script. So if I want to go and follow that declaration chain, reference chain actually, I can say Control, mouse click, and it positions me here. If I do this again, it's gonna lead me directly to that table. I don't have to use my mouse. I can press F12, which is a shortcut for go to definition. So F12 leads me to table source. F12 again leads me to the table in question. So this again works also for the parameters. So I can hover here, this declaration of language parameter. Here we have some references. So if I go here, again press F12, it's going to lead me directly to that language parameter. Okay, now let's see if I can show you, let's find some nice view. So I can, for example, go into our Scratchpad and just paste this code here. Everything is fine. Scratchpad is for real-time translation, because our translation engine is so fast, we can trace it in real time, right? So if I say X here as X here, right, it's gonna just work. However, if I now change the name into something that does not exist, it's gonna say, now we have 2 unresolved references. And if I put this back, it's gonna be just fine, right? So translation happens as we go. If I say schema binding 1, actually there's going to be syntax error because there's no such view option as schema binding 1. I put it back. Yep, this works. So Static analysis allows you to see the code which does not work. If I change just one name, that one name is going to be broken. But if I, for example, change the alias, then everything touching that alias instantly is marked as unresolved, which is very, very useful as you are perhaps customizing code on your own. You get pretty advanced help as you write the code.